Hello, welcome to History and Art Secrets for a New Journey of Knowledge. The 1939-1940 New York World's Fair was held at Flushing Meadows Corona Park in Queens. It was the second most expensive American World's Fair of all time, surpassed only by the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. Many countries participated, and over 44 million people visited during the two seasons. It was the first exposition focused on the future, with the slogan, "The Dawn of a New Day." When World War II began 4 months later, many foreign pavilions of the countries under Axis occupation were compromised. After the World's Fair closed in 1940, many pavilions were demolished, but some were retained for the 1964-1965 New York World's Fair, held at the same site. In 1935, at the height of the Great Depression, a group of New York businessmen decided to create a World's Fair to help the city and the country out of its economic difficulties. Over the next 4 years, the committee organized the fair with countries from all over the world participating. It was believed that there should also be a celebration, that of the 150th anniversary of Washington's election as president. On April 30, 1939, the fair opened with 200,000 people in attendance. David Sarnoff, president of RCA, introduced television to the public, and Roosevelt's speech was broadcast on radio and television, and NBC inaugurated television broadcasts. The Westinghouse time capsule was conceived and would not be opened for 5 millennia, in 6939. It was a tube containing writings by Albert Einstein and Thomas Mann, copies of Life magazine and Mickey Mouse, a Gillette razor, Camel cigarettes, millions of pages of text on microfilm. The area was laid out in a semicircular pattern centered on the theme center, which consisted of 2 monumental buildings called the Trilon, 210 meters high, and the Perisphere. Inside the Perisphere was the Model City of Tomorrow. On the Street of Wheels was the Masterpieces of Art building, which housed 300 works from the Middle Ages to 1800 that were borrowed from Europe, and 35 museums brought some major works. The Pavilion of Great Britain and the Empire consisted of 2 buildings connected to each other. The French Pavilion was a 2-story structure whose facade featured enormous windows with majestic curves. After the close of the fair, its restaurant remained in New York as Le Pavillon. The Italian Pavilion blended ancient Roman splendor with modern styles, and a 200-foot-high waterfall dedicated to Guglielmo Marconi defined the facade. The mosaic floor was adorned with a pillar on which rested the she-wolf, mother of Romulus and Remus. Above it stretched a Roman triumphal arch. The side walls were decorated with maps of the colonial empire and were divided into 3 sections by columns with rostra and a bronze statue of Mussolini. The Japanese pavilion resembled a Shinto shrine, set within a Japanese garden. The interior had a Liberty Bell with pearls and diamonds worth $1 million. The Polish pavilion consisted of a steel tower with gold-plated copper shields. The USSR Pavilion was a semicircular structure with 2 wings enclosing a courtyard. Inside was a replica of the Mayakovskaya station of the Moscow Metro. The U.S. Federal Building was set between 2 46-meter pylons and contained a total of 23 exhibits. The most popular of the pavilions was the General Motors Pavilion, which contained the Futurama exhibit that transported visitors on a huge diorama. The fair was open for 2 seasons, from April to October each year, and closed on October 27, 1940. It generated revenues of about $48 million, but because $67 million was invested, and the company declared bankruptcy. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share on your social media and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Hello, welcome.